Go ahead, do us a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. This is Left Side of the Brain. You are now tuning in to the realest and the greatest channel on the earth. Welcome to the Left Side of the Brain channel for another segment, another powerful segment. And tonight, it's nothing pre-scripted. It's just, we're going to dive right into it, and we about to go down the rabbit hole once again. Tonight's topics will be more like a red light edition. I may even title this Red Light Edition from Inside the Car. I don't know, but we'll see. But I like to start out by saying, I'm going to talk about a few things. Can you imagine yourself existing in pure darkness, having never seen anything, having never touched anything, having never expounded upon anything, having never experienced anything that you see in the world around you? Can you imagine never hearing a sound, and then all of a sudden, something out of nowhere says to you, create? What would you be able to create? Let's just say in this scenario, for whatever reason, you understood language. I know that doesn't make sense, but for the sake of being able to explain what I'm saying, to make it make sense, let's just say you existed in this darkness, and then you were asked to create. How would you be able to create and you never seen anything before? What I'm trying to say is, because everything that you create comes from something that you have seen, something that you have experienced. Even if that's you writing a poem or writing a song or whatever. Even if you're doing abstract paintings, you're still utilizing a color that you saw. What are you getting at, Left Side of the Brain? Well, hold on. What I'm telling you, this is the proof that there is a God. Because just like I asked you, what would you create if you never seen anything before? No colors, no anything, no shapes, nothing. And if you was just in pure darkness and something asked you to create, guess what? You couldn't create anything, because we create from what we have seen. We draw from the colors that we have seen: the reds, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the indigo, and the violet. This is proof that God exists, because God created all of those things from nothing. But you couldn't do it. You only know what's in your limited consciousness of understanding, of experience, of what you have seen. But God, y'all don't understand the awesomeness of God. He created red from the darkness of never seeing red before. But he created it from nothing. But you couldn't do the same. And I can prove to you that you can't do the same. All right? Create a color that you have never seen before. And I'm letting you cheat. You got the reds, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the indigo, the violet. The only thing that you can create is the colors that you mix together. And that's from something that you have seen before. But guess what? The creator, he created a color without ever seeing it before. You get what I'm saying? He just read. He can create colors and anything. That's power. Drawing from absolutely nothing and creating something. You get what I'm saying? And when you mix all colors together, guess what it turns into? It turns into darkness, black, darkness. So this is the proof that there is a God, because this God created from absolutely nothing but darkness, and everything came to be. You see what I'm saying? But your consciousness, it needs something to reference to. You get what I'm saying? God doesn't need a reference point. He is the reference point to every reference point. He is the origin of every reference point. He is the point zero of everything. He didn't have to go to a color palette of paint to pick a color. He isn't limited to the colors that we have. He can draw from any color that he wants to. You see? Because it all came from him. You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? So what am I saying? There is a higher power. And I'm not saying nothing that you haven't heard before, but I'm just showing you a different way to look at it. And I'm telling you this to let you know that you got to get plugged into that higher power. That higher power gave me what I'm telling you right now in meditation. And when you plug into that higher power, he will reveal things to you like what I just said. It's 2020 vision. Y'all get what I'm saying? And you see, every color, I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Every color is on a frequency bandwidth. You can look this up. Every color is on a frequency bandwidth. It's like turning a volume knob, and you can change the color from black to a gradient, from different gradients all the way up to higher gradients until you get the red, the oranges, the yellows, and then you can turn it back down and it'll go all the way back to the black. So it's similar to like turning up the radio volume. And you ever heard somebody say something like, see, it's a frequency. You ever heard somebody say loud colors? Okay, so you got a loud frequency of volume, then you can turn it down. How they say soft music. You got soft colors, loud colors. Ever heard somebody say that? Bright colors, like you turning up a light bulb till it's very bright, and then you can dim the light. and the light in the room affects the shade of the color in the room, because the brighter the light, the more intensity the colors in the room. You turn the light down, the colors in the room has a lesser intensity based upon the light. But all of the colors exist in what? In the darkness. When you turn it all the way down, guess what? There's no such thing as turning the lights off. You've heard that all your life, but it's not true. When the lights are turned off, the light just absorbs back into the darkness. And I've said this before, but it fits into this video as well. The lights don't turn off. They just fall back into the darkness whence it came from whence it came from. You see what I'm saying? Having said that, I'm going to expound further. When they say there is nothing new under the sun, that's absolutely right. There is nothing new under the sun. Even this technology that you see out here is not new. Because guess why? Guess why it's not new? Because everything is based on a frequency. All technology is based on a frequency. Like, 5G phones that's out right now. Only thing that 5G means is like 5th generation. Then you had the 4G, the 4th generation of the Wi-Fi reception. You see? Now, for instance, case in point, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is just a signal. That's it. It's a signal which allows you to connect so you can get online. In a nutshell, it's a signal, and all technology is based upon these signals and frequencies and bandwidths. You get what I'm saying? So those frequencies have existed since energy existed. So technology has always existed, because there can be no technology without the frequency. You get what I'm saying? Now let me use the law of exceedings to back up my statement. For instance, ants communicate with antennas. You see, an antenna is nothing but technology that has always existed. The Creator was already ahead of you, the human being. He already created antennas on insects. That's an antenna on an insect. That's like the Wi-Fi reception or the Wi-Fi device in your home. But the Creator already did that when he created the ant with the antennas. And it's funny that the word antenna itself, it begins with the 3 letters which spell the word ant, A-N-T. So no wonder you got AT&T, like the wireless company, AT&T, because ants have always communicated wirelessly. They've always just was on a Wi-Fi reception. You see the little 2 antennas on their head? They've always communicated like that. You see, so the Creator that's why I'm saying it's nothing new under the sun. This technology has always existed. Are y'all following me? This technology has always existed, and man think that he is outsmarting or outwitting the Creator. No, fool. Ants have already communicated through telekinesis. So don't get too big-headed. We just catching up to where the ants have already been and still haven't caught up to them. So I'm just saying that because I like to utilize the law of exceedings when I give examples of things. Because like I say, 99% of what's said on this channel, if it's an opinion of mine that I haven't used the law of exceedings to back it up, then I'll tell you. But most of the time, everything that I tell you, you can bank on it. Because I'm utilizing the law of exceedings, which is nothing in the physical world, far as examples and metaphors that you can use, exceeds beyond what takes place in the spiritual realm. So that's why people can't come at me, because I don't come from nowhere. I'm coming from the law of exceedings. You get what I'm saying? So we live in a world where there is nothing new. See, another thing, it's only new to you because you just discovering. You might come upon a new technology, or a scientist may come upon a new discovery, but it's always been there. But that's the fun part about life. I was looking at myself in the mirror today, and you know what my reflection said to me? It said, you are just a question in human form, seeking answers. See, the world that we live in, it represents answers. Your body, you are just a question in physical form. Why do I say that? Because your brain, since the time you was a child, you have been inquisitive. It's the nature of humans and animals to be inquisitive, because you are nothing but a question walking around on two legs. Think about it. All we do as humans is try to figure stuff out. Where my keys at? That's a question. What time I got to be at work tomorrow? That's a question. What time you got to be at work tomorrow? Your physical body is just carrying out the question to the answer. Oh, I got to be there at 9 o'clock. Okay. So question, your question body, you got your answer. Get up, question. Come on, question. Let's go to work. What am I going to do when I get to the job site? Another question in a bodily form. Here comes the manager. He gives you the answer. I want you to work at section A, and I want this group over here to work at section B. What time is lunch? The question body is asking another question. What time is lunch? Lunch is at 12. Question body has its answer. You get what I'm saying? So your body is nothing but a question. That's all you are. You're a walking question in a universe full of answers, because there is an answer to every question. That's why you gotta, like the Bible says, it says, seek and ye shall find. I guarantee you, anything that you want in this life, the answer is waiting on you to find it. It has to. Anything you're trying to figure out, the nature of the universe we live in is called reveal. It can't help but to give you the revelation. We live in a universe full of revelations. So whatever you're seeking, the answer is waiting to be revealed. Because if you lived 1 billion years, you're going to find out everything you need to know. Give it time. Whatever it is, give it time. Things will reveal themselves over time. And another thing, because we going down a rabbit hole, man, just like a red light edition in a vehicle, you know. Another thing, man, I was thinking about, like, I'm kind of skipping us to another subject now. it's like you can never say that you completely know anything at the same time, because that's why you can only trust on that gut instinct that nobody can tell you that is right other than that gut instinct. Because have you ever thought about this? What if you woke up this morning, right? And you died before you woke up. Except you woke up, but you was actually dead. But you woke up in a alternate reality that looked similar, almost identical to the very world that you died in. But you woke up this morning like you always do. You put your pants on, you went to the bathroom, washed your face, you brushed your teeth, you took your Scope mouthwash, put it in your mouth, gargled, spit it out in the sink. Everything seems normal. But what if you died and woke up in a world that mimics the world that you died in? How would you ever know if the world that you woke up in didn't tell you? You get what I'm saying? And what if this illusion that we live in, what if everything you look at forms into an illusion to keep you from figuring out what it is? Like every time you cast your eyes upon something, what if it recognizes that you looked at it, and when you look at it, it turns into a tree? Like when you turn your head and then you turn back around, when you look at the objects behind you, what if it notices that you are looking at it, and because your eyes are cast upon it, it changes into something else? And then when you turn around, it changes to something else. And then as soon as you look at it, let's just say you send some type of frequency to it and it changes back into a tree or something. These are just questions like I was thinking about a couple nights ago when I was like laying on my bed. I was like, in reality, man, it's like, because we live in a universe where you see so much, like you got all of these animals that change, and like chameleons, and you got all of these animals that blend in. What if the very nature itself of everything had the same kind of quality to like deceive? And I know this is like just going way out, but I told you, like, we're going deep sea diving, and it's just something to think about. And it makes me say that that word trust that we like to use is it's a very loose term, man. Who can you trust in this world? I think about that all the time. Like, who can you trust? Think about it. Can you even trust that the things that you look at is, like I said, turning into something when you cast your eyes upon it, and then when you turn your head, what if it turns to something else? And as soon as you turn to look at it, it turns back to the image to fool your mind that you're looking at a tree. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm smoking a reality blunt, and it got me thinking, like we don't know anything, man. But the little that we do know, it's because of that inner gut instinct that nobody can feel but you. That's my point of saying all of that other stuff I just said. Like, that trust thing, like somebody, like even when you listen to me, even when I do these videos, you just can't take what left side of the brain say as 100%. It has to ring that bell on the inside of you. That's what that truth is. It's like deep in your gut, not in your physical gut, but you can just feel it like in your soul, man. That's what you got to rely upon. And that's what I be meaning when I say 2020 vision. I'm talking about that inner vision, that gut vision. That gut vision that you know from the bottom of your gut. Like if you hear left side say something and it just rings that bell in you and you say to yourself, you like, I know left side is telling the truth on this one. I can feel it. He ain't even nobody gotta agree with him. I don't care if 100 people leave negative comments. I know that he's right on this one right here. You'll know it from the inside of you. And that's what I mean when I say that 2020 vision. Because you can't trust your normal vision at all times. Even in cars, they say objects in mirror are closer than they appear. You can't always trust, like I was saying, what if you look at something and it changes and morphs into something just to deceive you, and then you turn, you see what I'm saying? So vision is one thing. You can lose your eyesight. Just because you lose your eyesight, that don't mean you gotta lose sight of the truth. You get what I'm saying? So you can't depend on your 5 senses all the time, because you can lose some of your 5 senses. But what you can't lose is that sense of self, that sense of the knowledge of truth, that gut vision that dwells on the inside of you. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's like the dopest reality, man. That gut vision, that 2020 vision. And it makes me feel at peace, man. I really don't need a lot of friends. I don't need friends. I don't be needing people around me. I was driving around today, just had my music playing, sitting back in the car, you know what I'm saying, the heat on. I'm just chilling. I was like, I got the truth, man. I got everything that I need on the inside of me, man. I like to always say, what you born without, you can do without. God packaged us with everything we need. And when you grab hold to the truth, man, people might think you went crazy because you don't come around no more. And you might even think you crazy because you be like, shit don't excite me no more, man. That's the level I'm at, man. It's 2020 and that's where I want it to be. Like, stuff don't excite me no more, man. I can just be sitting in the car, playing music, and just be at peace, man, with myself and the fact that I got like this understanding, man. But I'm gonna stop this video right here. I think that's enough. That gives y'all enough to chat about in the comments section. Tell me what y'all think. You can add your comments below. I'm about to go ahead and upload this. Tell me what y'all think I should have titled the video. I don't know what title I'm gonna give it, but I want to see what y'all would have titled it. But anyway, this left side of the brain signing out. Jaguars up 2020 takeover.